you. Listen, we're outside doing our presentation today. So we were talking about wealth building and what it looks like when you are making a six-figure income, but you still feel broke. When you still feel broke, tell me, why do we still feel broke? Well, like I said before, intentional building, when you're intentionally building wealth, it makes sense to understand why you're doing it, number one. Number two, build it with intention, okay? Because if you don't have an action plan, you don't have a goal, you just kind of out here just winging it. And a lot of times we're not paying attention to the things that come up, such as taxes, such as lifestyle, all the different things that we may be missing, making sure our businesses are structured the right way. See, if your businesses are structured the right way, you can avoid a lot of the tax issues that are just going down the drain and going to provide money to other things instead of where you really intend for it to go, right? So this is important. This is important that we make sure you're doing the right things, right? So I wanted to pull over for a moment and just have a conversation with you and say to you this. If you're a small business and you're thinking about structure, it makes sense to go ahead and put it in place right away. Take care of working on your business before you start working in your business. Why? Because it matters. I know you want to get right to the bag. I know you want to get right to the money, but you could be setting yourself up for a trap that you can't get out of. You know, for me personally, I like having my structure set up so that I have the maximum amount of protection. And I've heard some other professionals who choose not to give you that level of protection from the very beginning. But the way I see it, if you're an AI consultant and you're deciding to get into this business pretty heavily, your income could skyrocket in a very short period of time. And if it does do that, then we got to be concerned with how much money we make. And that might cause us to have to do some restructuring. And that restructuring could cost us valuable time. So I'm just a believer that I want to have my structure in place with my subcategories underneath my primary structure and then move forward from there, because we want to make sure that we don't have to waste time. And when I'm talking about scheduling and structure, I'm also talking about the way that you structure your business and your lifestyle. See, we don't have time to go backwards. We only have time to move forward. We only have time to move forward. So we must go ahead and put the things in place that matters to us most. Spend time working on your business before you spend time working in it. If I was talking to you about your professional life, prepare for the lights out moments. Your legacy is being written whether you like it or not. How you're going to be remembered right now, if today was your final expiration day, if today was the day that you elevated on beyond, you've already written your story for people to talk about. What's your journey like? What was your journey like? Did you have your will in place? Did you have your trust in place? Did you have your documents in place for your loved ones? Who's taking care of your issues? You got to make sure that we have that in place. Well, the same thing in business. If your structure is not in place, you're leaving yourself vulnerable for those actions that can cause you to lose tremendous amounts of wealth, right? And that's something that we're trying to avoid. We want to avoid. So if you understand where I'm coming from, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up on the live. And, you know, if you have questions, please ask the question. Because we want to make sure our Lifestyle Focus Wealth Group, we want to make sure that you're getting the information that you need to be successful. right? So, hi, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I want to say hello back to you, and I really appreciate it. So, why is it that you're feeling distressed when we're making a six-figure income, but you still feel like you're broke? Why is that? Have you paid attention to your tax bracket? Have you paid attention to the taxes that you're supposed to be paying? Or you're just paying it? Have you not really paid attention to how you can minimize those taxes? Well, it's probably time for you to start figuring that out. Because if you're in Georgia and if you were to make $1 million, you could be easily in a tax bracket of 43% when you add state and federal combined. Well, on $1 million, that's $430,000 right off the top. That's right off the top. So we need to make sure that we can minimize that as much as possible. And how do you do that? Well, our Lifestyle Focused Wealth philosophy shows you how you can do that. You can get us online, get in our one-on-ones. I'm going to tell you to go to roncojohnson.com, schedule a one-on-one coaching so that you can have an opportunity to see what options are out here and what are available for you. Because a lot of times, I don't think we understand the value of a coach. Just like right now, the world doesn't always understand the value of AI. Well, the purpose is so that I can get an answer pretty quickly, and then I can move forward. If that's making sense to you, give me a thumbs up. If that's making sense to you, give me a thumbs up right now. So I want to say hello. Hey, Miss Henderson. How are you doing? How you doing? Karma Bandit, how are you? Thank you for hanging out with us. I see you, Leela. Thank you. I know you're traveling as well. Man, I tell you. So what we want to do is make sure that today's conversation was, why do we feel like we're not where we want to be? Why do you feel that way? Maybe because you haven't truly dove into what your purpose is, what lifestyle really means to you. If you're just working for paychecks, that's not the end result. It's time for us to start focusing on the journey itself, not the destination. And what I mean by that is simply this. A lot of times, again, I'm going to repeat just in case some of you didn't catch what I said earlier. If you were traveling from Georgia, I see we got friends on here from Switzerland, but if we were going in Europe, if we were going to travel from Georgia to, say, Texas, I know even for myself, I've always looked at it and said, I want to wait till I get to Texas to have a good time. I can't wait till I get to Texas and have a good time. However, does the good time have to start when I get to Texas? Or could the good time start during the journey to Texas? In other words, you don't focus on the journey at all. You're only focusing on the destination before you figure out that you have a good time. So if your destination in money was that I need to make $5 million, I need to make $10 million, did you just completely give up on the journey? You got to really think about that. Because there's a lot of growth that happens in the journey. There's a lot of coaches, business coaches, opportunities, people that you're going to meet that's going to be able to can help you get to where you want to go quicker. Well, that's what we're all about. That's why we're here, Lifestyle Focused Wealth. That's what we talk about every single day, is how do we get there quicker, at the same time help minimize our taxes, grow our revenue, and protect the things that really matter most to us while we're living our lifestyle. And that's why AI and financial services kind of merge together. And it gives you exactly what you want. Now, the question of why you're feeling broke is because you've left yourself open for exposure. And you don't have the plans that are necessary to keep you from feeling that pain. Hi, Sandra. I see you. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So I see we got a lot of activity today in our blog and our chats. And give me thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. If you're one of those people that feel like you're broke, but you're making six figures and you don't know why, give me a 1. Put a 1 in the chat. If you're feeling like you're a little bit upside down, busted and disgusted as you're making six figures, put 1. If you're feeling like that, we need to have a discussion. If not, number 2. If you're not, put number 2. I want to know who I'm talking to today. If you're a high net worth person that's struggling with your income, put number 1. You feel like you're broke. You feel like you just haven't figured it out yet. Put number 1. So what are the solutions that we have here? What are some of the solutions? If you're feeling stressed out about your money, we need to make sure that that doesn't happen, because that becomes a health issue. We need you around. We need you in the room, right? We need you in the room. So when it comes down to it, why are you feeling so stressed out? If your money and your income and your wealth and your time mean so much to you, don't you owe it to yourself to cut down the time that you're wasting, the money that you're wasting, get the solution now that can help you start to build, have more time, have more wealth, and more impact in the community? If you're wanting to know that, do me a favor. Go ahead and get signed up. Get on our calendar today. You get a 1 consultation. 1 consultation may just change your life. Why? Because it's changed the lives of other people. You know, I can't help but think over the weekend, this week has been a powerful week, because I'm just sharing some case study with you, some information with you that came from other people. It came from one of our clients who experienced a loss this past week. And I have to tell you, it was one of those moments that make you start to think, if someone had to go through your things today and find information about what you're leaving your family behind, did you have life insurance in place? Did you have a will or trust in place? If I were to pull your bank statements, what would it show me about you? Because this is part of your legacy as well. This is part of your story as well. As you're living, of course, it's quiet. No one really knows. But when your lights go out, how do you want people to see you? Are you going to see a list of spending habits that probably you're too embarrassed to tell people that that's what you're doing? Would you have the opportunity to change that right now. You have that opportunity to change that while you're living, you know? And hey, Leela, thank you for joining us. I know you're all the way in Belize. Oh my gosh. I hope the weather is fantastic there. I really do. If I'm resonating with anyone, give me a thumbs up today. Our chat needs it. We need to have you in a thumbs up. All of our top fans, thank you so very much. So, going back to what I was saying here is very simple. We don't need to cause more stress. If you're stressed out about your financial situation, you're wasting time. You're thinking about things that doesn't really resonate with your wealth building a great life for yourself. These are things that we need to correct. And we have tools, we have systems, we have strategies for that. You know, I once heard an accountant on a Zoom call, on a webinar, tell a bunch of people about how they were to create a company for themselves and how to ladder their corporations. And I think everybody has a different opinion of, if you ask 100 advisors how they would structure a financial plan, you're going to get 100 different answers. And I'm not a CPA or a lawyer, but I can tell you this. I was listening to what the gentleman said, and he was on a podcast that traffic was sent to this company. And he mentioned creating a holding company and creating a company with LLCs underneath, and I had no problem with the structure. But I did take issue with one point. One point that I did take issue with was that at the top of the structure was a company format that didn't give the maximum amount of protection to all the people there, just because of the scare tactic of double taxation on a C corporation. And I understand you want to get things simple and you want to get things quickly and you want to start now. But when you're dealing with people in the world of AI, and there's other professions out there, I don't know if your business is going to be super successful. I have no idea of who you know. Only you do. I don't even know how big your vision is. I just think it makes perfect sense that I don't want to revisit this all over again. Why not go ahead, put my trust in place? If I was building it brand new today, why not put my trust in place? Why not create a holding company under a C corporation to give my umbrella of protection to every subsidiary that I'm going to do? And then I start to use my LLCs as my operating vehicles if I'm going to use those. The presentation had me lost for a moment. And I couldn't help but think how this particular company just informed hundreds, maybe even thousands of listeners of a structure that potentially may have to go back and be revised. Just because probably the person's not thinking that the people on the phone call or on the webinar are ever going to reach that level of business. Being that I do this for a living, and being that we specifically put strategies and solutions and concepts, and we use these concepts, strategies, and solutions every day to help corporations minimize these taxes, to use the fringe benefits, the Section 162 and the Section 168 and all these different opportunities that we have for depreciation or business expenses for our businesses, where you can use life insurance, annuities, health insurance as a business expense and learn how to do it properly. As if it didn't even matter. That information just goes out the window. But my question becomes, what if that person were to be sued? What if that person were to go through a divorce? What if that person becomes a multi-millionaire, billionaire in that structure? That can be a lights out moment. And at that point, all you can do is go back and say, I'm sorry. How does that feel to you? How does that feel to you? Anyone? How does that feel? I think I'll have a hard time with that. Put it in the chat. Would you have a hard time with that? Would you? If you have a hard time with that, put that in the chat. Because I'm still taking issue with that. I really am. I want to make sure that our people I want to make sure our people are in a good place. I want to make sure you're in a good place. Because these are some of the reasons why people are feeling stressed when they're making 6 figures or more. If you want to be in a good place, I need to see, based on all you guys on the line, how many of you say yes or no? Structure for now and fix it later? I want you to put yes. Yes if you would rather do it right the first time. No if you would rather fix it later. Yes if you want to fix it right the first time. No if you want to fix it later. Go ahead and put that in the votes. I want to see where we are, what happens, who's more likely to do these things. Because I definitely want to make sure that I'm doing things right the first time. That way we can focus on the other things. If you agree with me, put that in the chat. If you agree with me, put that in the chat. Immediately put that in the chat. Okay? Well, these are opportunities where we can help minimize your stress. And we can take these dollars and reallocate it to things that really matter. Stress can do some crazy things to your body and to your mind. So it's important that we keep an open mind. Stay very holistic with our challenges. Don't create mud when you don't need to. And I think there's just so many opportunities for us to do a better job of reducing our stress levels just by getting the proper coaching, sitting with the proper people who can help us get where we need to go immediately. That's why I like our coaching. That's why I like our lifestyle focused wealth community. And I have to be honest with you, if it wasn't for some of the coaches that I've spent plenty of dollars on, upward $20,000 to $30,000 a year on coaching, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. So I see a lot of yeses. We're reducing the stress. I'm with you. How many of you would want to do this wrong? Because I couldn't imagine just waiting and figuring out that I thought I had the level of protection and there's no protection there. Over this past week, I'm just sharing with you some personal case studies, some real life stuff. Because when the lights go out, are you ready? It becomes, are you ready? You can't fix it once the lights go off. It's not a matter of when or if, it's going to go out. All of us have a start date and an end date. Your legacy is being built every single day by what you say, by what you do, the promises you make, and how you leave your life behind for others. So your financial plan in my world, it should stay there. It should work, whether you live too long, die too early, or become disabled in between. And I think a lot of us are just trying to put Band-Aids on the fix because we don't have the time. But the truth is, if you go ahead and put it in place immediately, yes, it took you an extra 30 minutes. It took you an extra hour, but it's going to last you a lifetime. You don't have to worry about it. As I told a family that we were looking at an NIL deal for the son. When we started the process, the son had not officially signed an NIL deal. But he was receiving money from the institution, and we put the insurance and the planning in place. And thankfully, we had to have these conversations. And by the time we got back to the family had obviously went out and talked to their agents about the type of planning that we put into place for them. And the agent immediately starts to write business and put it into a different IUL structure and said, hey, yeah, these numbers are great. And they gave my clients the presentation, and of course they brought it to me. And I said to them, I said, well, there's one problem with that structure. What you're giving me is a product-to-product comparison, number one. Number two, your product is not guaranteed. Number three, inflated interest rates on an illustration doesn't make it true. It's not. Number four, if you have an equity index, here's a solution for you. You don't have access to your money right away, not without a surrender charge. Not without a surrender charge. So if you got $1 million in it and you want to take money out and you have a 15-year surrender charge at 15%, let's make it 10%. That's a $100,000 surrender charge. And you hadn't even touched your dollars yet. Then I share with them why we do the type of planning that we do. We use some very specific whole life plans that have non-direct recognition, meaning that every dollar that we put into it, that you're able to pull money out of it. Every dollar. That means for you business owners that you can take your revenue from your company and stick it into your plans, your own banking system, and earn future dividends on future dollars that you're going to see in the future. With the ability to spend money right now. With also a combination of using some annuities as well, some non-qualified annuities, after-tax money. Would you rather pay taxes on the seed or the harvest? I want to ask the question again. If you had the opportunity to choose, would you rather pay taxes on the seeds or after you planted it and pay taxes on the harvest? Which one would be greater? Well, after-tax money is the seed. It's the seed. I'd rather build my brand on after-tax money. That's just me. Before tax creates a harvest. And that harvest is going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. It's going to grow from $10 to $100. 100,000 to $1 million. Whatever the number may be, it gets bigger. And guess what else gets bigger? Your tax problem. Your tax problem gets bigger. And you go from 12% to 23% to 32, 34% and beyond. And guess what? Now you have to have a plan in place so we can strategically draw dollars out without you having to pay the maximum amount of tax on the money. All because no one gave you the blueprint. No one gave you the blueprint on structuring your business the proper way. No one gave you the blueprint on any of these other issues that are caused by a lack of preparation. That's why I call a lights out moment. So why are people stressed out and feeling broke? Because a large majority of the population working and earning money have the financial literacy of a first grader. They don't understand how the money works. This is why we have to be much more financially intelligent. Get more involved. Get more involved. I say financial literacy is one thing. Financial education is another one. But financial intelligence is when you're using all these systems combined. When I got through talking to the family and I shared with them our complete system versus a singular product, the wife just simply said, and walked away with a smile on her face. That smile shows me that they're quite comfortable with the structure, with the plan, with the concept and the solutions that we solved, all in the right strategic planning. You gotta have a strategy. You can't just say, without this strategy, this doesn't work. If I buy it one at a time, a corporation is a structure, but I still need the strategy of why and how I'm going to use that corporation, and then what my intentions are, and then allow someone to give you some structure, tax structure that could save you hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then put some other financial solutions in there that will allow you to earn money on dollars that you didn't even know you should be earning money on, that you're giving to your favorite bank and not earning a dividend. And then have access to your capital. And then have the ability to loan money to other business ventures and so on, and then earn interest on it. These are important tools that we need to make sure that more and more people know, especially in the world today. Why? Because your food stamps are being taken away. The leaning on the government is being taken away. And the further and further we go along this game that's being played, we're starting to see the separation of people who have the information and people who don't. People who will have tremendous wealth and people who don't. There's not going to be a lot of this in the middle. So my question goes back to you. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Right? Hey, listen, I'm telling you, thank you guys. I see you out there, Leila. Thank you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I'm just looking at some of your comments down below. Hey, listen, if you like more detail about what we're talking about, do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up right now. Go right up top. Go right up top. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that we're doing good. Let the algorithm know that you're here. If you're a fan of ours, do us a favor. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Come back every Friday at 1 o'clock, and we're going to have a different topic. There is no reason for you high-income earners feeling stressed about your income. Let's leverage that income right now and go ahead, get this information. It's almost year end. It's almost year end. It's almost tax season again. Get on our calendar so you can find out the solution that may impact you. And guess what? If I were going to save $50,000 in taxes, would you pay $10,000 to get the answer? If I was going to save $400,000 in taxes, would you pay $200,000 to get the answer? If I could help your business grow and you were spending $1 million on a tool, and I could tell you, you could spend $500,000, replace that tool can replace all that heavy overhead, would you do it? If you wouldn't, you're having a lights out moment. Hey, that's my time. I'm Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. I look forward to seeing you at the top. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch us every Friday right here on YouTube. Every Friday, 1 o'clock, where we can answer your questions. We're going to go live, and some things just happen. So I'm out here on the road. I want you to be safe. I want you to have a great weekend, Lifestyle Focused Fridays. I want you guys to go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And listen, the law of reciprocity means for you to be successful, you must desire someone else to be successful. And that's my time. I'm going to see y'all next week. Right here, same time, same place, and God bless.